Hey, Alistair Edwards here, your independent Legal Shield associate. And if you are seeing this video, that simply means your spouse or significant other sat through one of our presentations today at their place of employment and they wanted you to take a look at the information so collectively you all can make a decision as to why you should have a Legal Shield benefit. So I'm going to go right into it to make sure that we share this information with you. What we simply do is give you unlimited access to top rank attorneys nationwide. And I know you've probably thought about rewriting or revising your will, or you've probably been in a situation where a repairman wouldn't stand behind their work, or you've been a victim of identity theft, or you got a move-in violation. These are all legal situations, but because the average attorney is $200 or $300 an hour, most people don't use an attorney. So what we do with Legal Shield, the company's been around since 1972, and we cover over 4.4 million lives throughout the United States with a dedicated network of quality law firms. And this is in all 50 states and all provinces of Canada. Forbes ranked our identity theft plan number one. Better Business Bureau give us an A+ rating. So what do? We just have a disruptive model, right? When you all used to go to the mall back in the day, now you just order everything through Amazon. When you had uh, we used to go to what's the place called? Blockbuster to get videos. Now we do it through Netflix. We've made things simpler, easier, more affordable. Well, what about the justice system, right? Instead of paying three or four or $500 an hour, your membership is $21.95 a month, to where you now have access to law firms through a simple app on your phone. Just like you use all the other apps, guess what? Your Legal Shield app is the one that you're going to tap the most. So how does it work? You simply now can be empowered by having services right there at the tip of your hand for $21.95 a month. We start off, first of all, with unlimited telephone consultation. So at any time during regular business hours, you can call in and ask as many questions as you like, right? And if after you have a discussion with an attorney, they feel like a letter or phone call will make a difference, they'll write the letter or make the phone call for you. Look, when my engine blew on my car and the dealer wanted to charge me $8,000, I decided to call the law firm to get a second opinion. The attorney called me back. He said, "Mr. Edwards, let me get the make and the model of that car. Let me do a research." He called me back 45 minutes. He later said, "Hey, there's a recall on that model. Let me write a letter to their corporate office for you." The attorney wrote a letter on my behalf. 7 days later, the dealer calls me back and said, "Hey, Mr. Edwards, we got some good news. Got a call from our corporate office. They're shipping me a brand new engine for your car. I should have it in about 3 days. It'll take me 2 days to install it. And the good news is once it's completed, you can come pick it up. Our corporate office is picking up the tab." That was one letter from my law firm, right? 21.95 a month was a big difference, right? Than $8,000 to replace an engine. My daughter, she graduated from University of Georgia. When she graduated, her apartment complex didn't want to give her a security deposit. She's going back and forth with them. She's so upset, she calls dad. And what did I tell her to do? Tap your app, call the law firm. The attorney called her back and asked her. She said, "Mrs. Edwards, how long has it been?" She said, "It's going on 30 days now." She said, "Would you be willing to wait 30 more?" She said, "Why?" She says, "Because in the state of Georgia, if they keep it past 60 days with no real proof of damage, they actually owe you double the amount." She waited. They wrote a letter on her behalf, and that apartment complex had to pay her double her security deposit, right? Think about it. How many times have you signed something that you ended up regretting to sign later, right? Cell phone contract, gym membership, timeshare, hopefully not your marriage certificate, but anything that you're signing, I would strongly recommend sending it over to the lawyers and have them review that document for you. We also want to take care of your life event situations, right? A will, a living will, a healthcare power of attorney, and a financial power of attorney are very important documents. Average attorney is going to charge you about $800 to $3,000 to prepare those documents. But as a Legal Shield member, included in your $21.95 a month, you simply just go into your app or to your members portal. You go to where it says Will Questionnaire, Estate Planning, fill out all the important questions, hit send. It goes directly to your law firm, and they'll have 3 copies of your will drafted and back to you within 10 business days. Think about that value alone. That alone is a $6,000 value if we're talking about you and your spouse getting this membership, right? If you get a move-in violation, a speeding ticket, or anything like that, we already know points are going to go on your license and your insurance is going to go up. Well, now that you're going to be a member of Legal Shield, you simply just take your phone out, tap that app, take a picture of that ticket, hit send, it goes directly to the law firm, and they're going to have an attorney go to court for you. The main objective is to make sure there are no points on your license. If they can, they'll work on reducing or eliminate the fine. So such a great value to have for you and your entire family, especially if you have teenage drivers. Or better yet, if you drive like a teenager. You're also going to get 60 hours of trial defense for any civil lawsuit. So if you're ever sued, you have 60 hours of an attorney's time already paid for. We also are going to make sure that if you ever get audited, you have access to a tax attorney to help you through that situation. Everything I've gone over is included in that $21.95 a month. Even after 90 days, they're going to add on contested name change, adoption, and divorce, right? All covered. You also have 24-hour emergency access, right? We have Miranda rights. You have the right to remain what? Silent, and you have the right to call your attorney. Let me show you how important this is. A lady called me once. She said, Mr. Edwards, I got to thank you. You came by our company. You sold us the benefit. She said, my son's 18. He's the first one in our family to have to go off to college. In his fourth week at school, he met some guys, decided to go to a party with them. Coming back from the party, police pulled him over and the police searched the car. She said, my son had no idea the driver had a gun underneath the front seat. Needless to say, when the gun was found by the officers, all four kids are getting arrested. He's crying, can I please call my mom? Of course, the officer tells him no. He says, look, can I please call my attorney? And of course, the officer has to tell him yes. He dials the number. He's like, look, I don't know who you are. All I know is my mom said if I get in trouble, talk to you. He talks to the attorney. The attorney says, let me speak to the officer. Officer comes back to the car and says, young man, when we get to the station, we're going to fingerprint, do a background check, and check for warrants. And if everything comes back good, you'll be released on what we call a verbal signature bond. He says, well, what about the other two kids? Driver admitted the gun was his. Driver admitted no one else had any knowledge of the gun being in the car. He says, that's fine and dandy, but I didn't speak to their attorney. Those other two kids that had nothing to do with the gun got arrested Saturday morning at 4 a.m. Judge who was assigned the case decides he doesn't want to hear it until Wednesday. Bond not available until Thursday. 3 days in general population because they didn't have access to an attorney. But the one child whose parents saw value enough in getting a Legal Shield membership was able to go home free. All right, all included in that $21.95 a month. Anything else? A divorce, a bankruptcy, contested divorce, a DUI. You now have access to the law firm and you're getting a 25% preferred members discount. Who's covered? We cover the member's spouse or domestic partner, never married dependent children under the age of 26 living at home or full-time students, and any dependent children under the age of 18 for whom the member is the legal guardian. Any physically or mentally disabled children living at the home are covered for life. We also have an identity theft plan that will make sure that your full identity is protected. Look, identity theft is the fastest growing crime. They say 1 out of every 3 Americans will be a victim of identity theft. Well, now with ID Shield, the #1 ranked identity theft protection service, you're going to have monitoring alerts on everything that's important to you, your credit cards, your credit score, your passport, your driver's license, right? If someone was even trying to open up a payday loan in your name, you'd be notified immediately. And you get to check your credit score in real time. They'll even do privacy management of your social media, right? Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. If you choose, they can monitor all of that information to make sure no one's using your images or any derogatory information is being said or posted about you. And what made them so good, and that needs to change. That's actually a $3 million identity theft protection plan now, to where if you are ever a victim of identity theft, they're going to have a licensed investigator assigned to your case whose sole responsibility will be to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity back to three-step status, right? And that's included in your legal plan. You're also, if you get the legal and the identity theft plan together, you're going to get the credit counseling and the privacy management, meaning you're going to have the best services available to you and your family. The ID Shield plan covers the individual, the family plan covers the entire family. So you're looking at $34.90 a month, right? That's $21.95 for the legal plan with a $19.95 individual identity theft plan. Or if you want to cover the entire family with both the legal and the identity theft protection, you're looking at $41.90 a month. Look, your spouse has already decided they want it. They just wanted to share the information with you just so you could give them peace of mind in making a decision. Go ahead and get that application filled out and sent back to me, and we will get that processed. Your membership goes effective immediately or on the date that you choose for me to have that thing processed, okay? Thank you so much for your time, and I am excited to be your Legal Shield independent representative.